I've been a Christian for 30 some odd years, and during those 30 years of being a Christian, I've gone to those summer camps where they teach you how to have a deeper relationship with Jesus. I've read the books on how to defend your faith. I've even been to some conferences. But in those 30 some odd years, I've come to realize that being a Christian and Christianity in general is kind of like the little box that says terms and conditions that everybody clicks, but nobody actually reads what the terms and conditions really are. Now, these terms and conditions are not something that you might naturally assume they are, because everybody sort of broadly understands what it means to be a Christian. You go to church and it's there. Love Jesus, do what he says, and you go to heaven. But the true terms and conditions of Christianity are not something that we like to talk about, and not something that's really discussed in Christianity as a whole. They're only something that you learn about as you go along and you discover. So it's not surprising that after going to church for a while, they start reading the Bible and start understanding what the true terms and conditions are. Now, some people might think of terms and conditions of Christianity are like believing in a God, miracles, and things like that. But as I've gone through life, I've kind of realized that most everybody, to some degree, already believes in a supernatural. So it's not really that. What it is a certain expectation and behaviors that we as Christians are to live by, that were laid down by Jesus and the apostles. And here is where real life and reality collide with these terms and conditions. Most people, when they truly understand what it means to be a Christian, don't want to abide by these principles and behaviors. Let me try to illustrate this for you. Jesus, in his story of the Good Samaritan, answers the question, who is my neighbor, by saying it's the person that you dislike the most, or is the most disliked by society. Quick history lesson. The Samaritans at that time were considered the rejects of society, the scum of the earth, and nobody really liked them. And yet Jesus used the Good Samaritan as an example that he wants Christians to emulate in how to treat other people. So for a Christian, in today's context, our neighbor is the person who society seems to not want us to love. So for the Christian, it means our neighbor becomes the illegal immigrant who just wants to make money to send it back home to his family in Mexico. Our neighbor becomes the Muslim family across the street who just wants to go to Friday prayers and not have some nut job trying to kill them. Our neighbor then also becomes the gay and lesbian couple who all they want to do is love their spouse, go to work, and have a great day without somebody accusing them of destroying the moral fiber of our country. You see, the terms and conditions of Christianity don't allow us to follow the fashionable trends of hate that sweep our country. So for the gay couple, who some crazy people think is going to destroy the very fabric of our nation by just them showing love to each other, the Christian shows the same love as the Good Samaritan. And for the Muslim family, who we're supposed to see as nothing more than terrorists and who want to impose Sharia law on us, we're supposed to love them like the Good Samaritan, the illegal who was here to supposedly take our jobs and depress our wages. We're to love them the same way the Good Samaritan loved. And this illustration is just one example of the many myriads of terms and conditions that come with being a Christian that many within the church don't want to talk about. Because usually these are things that come gradually over time, and you don't realize what the cost is until it's too late. And this is where people feel trapped going to church. They don't want to submit to the teachings of Jesus Christ, but because they've made friends and have good relations with the people at church, they don't want to leave. But what happens is that the longer these frustrations simmer under the surface, eventually they will boil over out into the open and they'll explode, and people will hurt other people, and it will destroy relationships and destroy people. Now for me, I like the terms and conditions. I like finding out what it means to live in a relationship with Jesus Christ. And it's great for me to read my Bible and understand these things, but I understand that this isn't for everybody. Most people don't want to have some guys dictating to them how to live their life who died over 2,000 years ago. And here's the thing I want you to take away from this. I may be odd and I may want to stay, but you don't have to. You can uncheck that box of terms and conditions and walk away. Now, as a Christian, I'm not supposed to say this because Christians are supposed to want everybody to be Christians. Everybody needs to fall in love with Jesus Christ. But I've realized, as I've lived and over time, that Christianity isn't for everybody. So if you realized at some point as you've gone to church that you don't agree with the terms and conditions anymore, and that you would rather see Muslims as terrorists and not as the Good Samaritan saw them, you can leave. If you would rather see the illegal immigrant as the scum of the earth, only there to take your wages, you can leave the church. You don't have to show the love and compassion that the Good Samaritan showed. And if you would rather want to live your own life and not have a book that was written 2,000 years ago dictating to you what is right and wrong, you can leave. You're free. I understand the cost of being a Christian is great. You don't have to be one. You can walk away. If you would rather watch football on Sunday afternoon than go to church, you can do that. You can walk away. There's no shame in walking away. It's your life. You can do whatever you want. I give you permission as a Christian to leave. You don't have to come back. Thank you for watching the video. Give it the old thumbs up if you liked it. And if you know of somebody who might want to be interested in watching this, or you think that they need to hear what I have to say, give it a share it with them. And also, if you want to, click right there and subscribe to get more videos and get the updates of when I do more videos. All right, God bless and have a good week.